All right, it's day one of JoeFest 2026. Let's head over there and see if we can find any cool toys. I don't have a plan for this week, and that's dangerous because you never go into a toy convention without a plan. But we will see what we can see. So we are in the building. Looking at, first thing you come up to is like the Delta Force 7 or the Delta 17 booth. And they have like a ton of new stuff out and available. Big Head Studios, they always got some really nice head sculpts for all your 1/12 needs.
I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
They even have some other stuff, some torsos, things like that.
We're at Lindenwood.
Check out that Dracula head.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
What do you think about Dracula?
That's pretty cool.
Obviously, it's character.
Some Ugnaughts.
I would Okay.
Pretty cool. Promag toys. Every year I come here. Every year I come to this booth and they always have some awesome G.I. Joe stuff, but they always have this guy right here. One day, that will be mine. And they have a ton of vintage goodness all around, as you can see. Just lots of cool, awesome vintage G.I. Joe stuff. Then we come to level 7 studios, level 7 toys, sorry. Lots of cool stuff over here. But this is the awesome thing. The custom Superman, or the Boy Scout and Detective. Try to get better video of that. So you can see that. Those are really fantastic. And then if you want to get a good look at them, check that out. And I've got a review up for the older Batman or Detective that they did with the older chest sticker. You can go check that out. That is some awesome stuff. Level 7 toys. With the SC Customs booth, check these out. These are pretty nasty. I mean, pretty nice. Shark. Those are really, really cool. And then they got the Dreadnok stuff. Of course, the Dreadnok speeder bike. You're you're crossing the streams here. Check that out. Whew. Look at that. That is slick. That is slick. And then they have these cool stands for some of the vintage figures. Those are really nice as well. Because you can put it looks like you have a place to put the weapons on them as well. So those are really nice. I'm not sure. I think this might be Joey's Vintage Vomit. And he's got some pretty cool stuff here. Check it out. That penguin for 25, in kind of rough shape. Still, that Superman's tempting for 40. I don't know. Some other cool stuff. Check those out. But I'm still not seeing. I really want. I need that dude. I do need him. Graded Star Wars. Not into that. That's too rich for my blood. That's pretty nice. Of course, some vintage He-Man. Oh, here's where I'm at. There is nothing in here. Well, he has a Riddler. Super Amigos Riddler, $800. I need Plastic Man, but and Golden Pharaoh and Samurai. And I actually need Green Arrow, but I want a complete one. Wish he had a Robin cape as well, because I need Robin's cape. Vintage stuff over here, carded stuff I meant. Check that out. Mr. Miracle, $500. Woo! But I'm sure it's graded. Yep, they're all graded. They're all graded. Cobra Friend.
Every single one of these panels and cut it out in green vinyl and apply it.
Looks like a bunch of
Thank you so much.
custom stuff. Oh, check that out. Hang glider, classified.
For the set. Yep.
Those are actually, these are really, really nice. Win this Vamp kit. Wow. Check that out. Cool calendar. Who doesn't need those banners? Everybody needs those banners for their Cobra headquarters. Look at that guy. Holy cow. Oh, that's a pretty nice AT-AT. And that one is too.
Yeah, it was on. They're on. Yeah, they both.
Jeez.
So I figured I was like, what the hell? I'll do some AT-AT. I had another one off of this prime done, but I didn't finish it. I didn't bring it. I prefer out of box.
And I don't recall seeing Dan's Dusty Toys here at a previous JoeFest. So he's relatively new, but he does have some pretty cool stuff.
We'll come back in a minute. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, that is awesome. I used to have that as a kid. Thundercats, Johnny. Now we're taking a look at Boss Fight Studios booth. Check these out. Oh my gosh. Look at the elephant dude. Holy cow.
You're gonna bust? Steve just said, oh, some people gonna dress with me. He called you some people.
Wow. Of course, Hellboy. It's pretty nice. Wow.
Hi, how you doing?
This is our exclusive Yeti unmaskable ring part. And then this is our launch of our 6-inch Red Chapel Salt.
Reconnect is here. You can see the awesome play sets that they brought with them. I mean, they look really nice. Make for good photography. This is the Weather Dome.
So typically we sell in the
Artillery. Check that out. That's pretty nice. Then you got the command center. You can see what it looks like.
So this right here has this inside of it?
Yes. So if you so on the back you see what comes with it. So you get the back, you get the front, you have your radar dish which actually is man connected so it can come off.
Oh, that one's got a ghillie suit. That's pretty sweet. Here we go. Awesome figures. Prototypes. Can't wait for them. From the Realm. I hadn't heard from them in quite a while. Looks like somebody just made a big purchase.
They won't be here till Sunday. So they got filled up.
Check that out. That is nice. Oh man. You come over here, and here is the thing that everybody's going to be looking at because it is so sweet. Cobra's throne room. Which there's a good way to get a look at it. Check that out. Check that out. That is just gnarly. That is gnarly. Look at that. All right, so then we have 152 Uru Toys, and they have some pretty cool things here. You know, I've noticed there's a lot of focus on classified stuff now. A lot of focus on the classified stuff. Just on the 1/12 scale. 1/12 scale. But check these bad boys out right here. Project in development. Those are slick. I've seen these on the Instagram page and they are really, really nice. It's good to see them in person. This is 1/12 scale for the Kickstarter. And prototype samples over here. You can see the Chosen Prime's booth here. They got the fan hobby and the acid rain stuff. Woo. Here they are. Grab them while you can at JoeFest. If there's any left, I think they said they'd go on the Chosen Prime after the fact. Check those guys out. Those are just really, really slick. That is really, really slick. That is amazing. Oh my goodness, look at that. When is that coming out? Because that is too cool.
Hey, can you
Those are nice, but I mean, those are nice. Man, look at that. That little display diorama thing. That's the coolest to me.
open another bug socket and put it? He wants the one guy riding.
Looks like they got box samples for these figures here. And then even more box samples, but with the figures actually in them.
Actual final production samples on display and pre-production samples.
Check these out.
Pretty much gonna look like. The knees are gonna look better on the final, the ones that actually ship.
Yeah.
But these are from the factory. You can play with them, pose them.
All right, that's gonna wrap up day one of JoeFest for me. There was a lot to see, a lot to do, but I'm tired, a good tired, and we'll be back tomorrow to spend more money, to interview people, and to hang out with some friends.